Well, this is Lisa Crenshaw once again, and I am here to talk to you about the American flag, which was done by Betsy Ross. Bet and C, and then Ross. The B gets turned upside down to become a P, so it's pet. The C gets added to Ross, and it becomes cross. Pet means you pet your dog. Dog backwards spells God. So it's God cross, which is Jesus. Now, here we have the blue in the flag and the star, which represents the sky. Here we have the white and the red, which represents the white represents Jesus' robe. The red represents his bloodshed from being beat or nailed. So it's the bloody robe. And the stars represents ascend, and the blue represents the sky. So the American cross, the American flag, this represents Jesus Christ's ascension to the heavens. Now, Jesus, when he was crucified on Calvary, he tore the veil in two. So what we have to do is we have to have one tear here, another tear here. We take the blue part of the flag with the stars. This represents a bandana that you place on your head. This represents the blue turban. The stars represent that with pointy, sharp edges, that which pricks. So this would represent the crown of thorns. So here is your blue turban, and here is your crown of thorns. Once the veil is ripped and this piece is taken out, this piece of the flag drapes down the back, and this piece of the flag goes over the shoulder towards the front. So what you have is you have a robe, and you have the bandana, you have the blue turban, you have the crown of thorns. So you have the white robe with the stripes. By my stripes you are healed. You have the white robe with the blood coming down through it, suffered from the beating, and you have on top of your head the crown of thorns. This is also the white robe with the red coming down it from the beating, and on top of the head is the blue turban. Remember, we are talking about Jesus here. Now, because this is blue, and we understand the phrase black and blue, the blue represents black here. So this blue part becomes black. We have 50 stars, so the stars are repetitive, which it all originates from one star. So this is all black with one star. The star represents the Star of David. All this shaded in black would be the shield. It represents the shield of David. Now, this also represents, let's just stick with the shield of David. We'll take the word David. V equals 22. It's 22nd letter of the alphabet. 2 plus 2 is 4. The fourth letter of the alphabet is D. So we have D, A, D, I, D. We turn one D upside down, it becomes a P, so we have P, A, D, I, D. The D is repetitive, so one crosses out the other, so we have P, A, D, I. We have iPad. So this becomes an iPad. The one star in the middle represents touch. It's the touch screen. It's a touch. This is the touch screen of the iPad tablet. This is black. This is the iPad tablet. The one star represents the touch screen. But inside the blackness is other stars that you cannot see, and it lets you know, it is saying, the American flag is saying that inside here is, inside the iPad, the one star, iPad means internet. Internet means YouTube. It is represented by the one star, the one person. So the blackness, the sea of black, represents the YouTube. So what the sea of black is saying is, if you touch this YouTube, if you touch this person who is on YouTube, you will be stung. And what I mean by that is the blackness also represents the beehive. The one star inside of it represents the queen bee, surrounded by the other stars inside the darkness, which you cannot see. So what the other stars inside the blackness, inside the beehive, is saying, if you, the white people, touch the black queen bee, the red represents there will be bloodshed. Okay, so you have the one star that represents the queen bee, the black queen bee, inside the beehive. That represents honey. The white represents milk. The red represents flowing. The United States of America is a land flowing with milk and honey. So the American flag is saying a lot of things to you. It is telling you that there is a black queen bee who is shielded by the blacks. And if you touch this black queen bee, meaning the whites, there will be bloodshed. You will get stung. This queen bee is represented by someone who is has to do with an iPad, has to do with the internet, has to do with YouTube. As represented by the black screen in the one star. The black screen represents the iPad tablet, which we have figured out. The shield of David is the black shield of the person on YouTube, is the black shield of the queen bee. This is the blue turban. This is the robe. This part of the robe flows down the back. The blue turban is placed over the head. This part of the robe flows over the shoulder and folds on to the front of the body. This is also the crown of thorns. So this is the white robe of Jesus with the bloodshed, the bloody stripes from the beating that they have taken, and this is the crown of thorns. This was produced by Betsy Ross. Betsy Ross became Bet and C and Ross. B turned upside down to become P. The C was added to Ross to form the word cross. The B upside down to become a P became pet and cross. You pet your dog. Dog backward is God. God is God. Cross is Jesus. So this is the robe of Jesus. The white robe with the red stripes, the bloodshed with the crown of thorns. This is also the robe of the man in with the blue turban. Now let's go on and talk about Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. Sam spells Mas. We take the L, we put it here. We take the U, we place the U there. We use the L again, we put it here. We take the N, we place it there. Then we have the letters C and E. So we have C, E, L, D, B. So we have C, B, L, E, D. So we have C, bled, and Mas. C represents Calvary. Mas represents Christmas, represents Jesus. So Mas is Jesus bled on Calvary. Uncle Sam represents the American flag. Uncle Sam has hair that is white like wool. He has feet of bronze because the military has the bronze star. Our troops march forward. And then he has eyes of fire. Fire has to do with the gun. One must be looking at the enemy or the target in order to fire their gun. So Uncle Sam, the picture of Uncle Sam, that is the picture of Jesus Christ himself. He wants us for the army. Army spells Mary, whom is the Virgin Mary, and it also spells my Ra. Ra means God, so my God. So we have Mary, we have my God. My God is Jesus, so there is the Virgin Mary and Jesus the Christ all wrapped up in Uncle Sam. The Shroud of Turin are breaks down to 1 and 2. If you combine the 1 and the 2 together, it forms the letter R. So R gets replaced by the letter L in Turin. So you have Tulin.